So I contracted HIV from the first time I ever had sex.
Nathaniel Hall was 16 years old when he was diagnosed with HIV back in 2003. His new project, In Equal Parts, aims to tackle the stigma and shame surrounding HIV.
In Equal Parts was born out of one of my solo shows that I made. So in 2018, I made a show called First Time, and I lived in relative secret and silence for about 15 years. 2017, I put it bluntly, I had a mental breakdown and decided that something needed to change. So I went on this journey to making First Time. I told my family, I told the world, and we realised that HIV is this hugely stigmatised illness. It's probably the only disease that is so stigmatised in the way that it is. And so In Equal Parts was born. If you go back to 2003 when I was diagnosed, so effective medication had only been around for about 6 or 7 years when I was diagnosed. I was given a prognosis, a life expectancy. So I was told my life would be shorter because of this thing. To hear that at 16 obviously is a huge deal.
It is a deadly disease and there is no known cure.
And if you lived through the 80s or 90s, chances are you remember the alarming AIDS government adverts. These were during a time when it was common for people living with HIV to develop AIDS. Imagine being 16 and being diagnosed with HIV while ads like these were around.
So how has stigma impacted your life?
If someone shouted, something to do with my HIV at me in the street in an aggressive manner, would it upset me that much? Probably not. What's more insidious is the long-term sort of drip effect of feeling like second class, for instance, or that people might reject you sexually if they find out.
There are around 100,000 people in the UK living with the HIV virus. Globally, the virus affects around 38 million people. However, as long as HIV-positive people take the correct prescribed daily medication, they effectively have no risk of spreading the disease to their HIV-negative partner, as long as they have an undetectable viral load.
I think there's a newfound confidence in people living with HIV because we've been so stigmatised over the years, but now we can confidently go, well, we're not a risk.